Hello, my name is Terry Martin. I'm here to talk about migrant farm workers and why I think it's so important that we understand how difficult their jobs really are. I wrote this brochure to help advocate for the migrant farm workers to work on the farms in the U.S. A civilized country we are, and we really do have respectful labor laws, except when it comes to the migrant farm workers. People who labor to produce our food in the U.S. should be treated with dignity and fairness. But these laws go out the window when corporations and farmers who think of greed and profit first and the well-being of people last. I also am trying to educate all the people of the U.S. to see that they can make a difference regarding the pesticide poisoning. Let people know that they can bring change to a population that has extreme language barriers. Also let people know that migrant farm workers and their families are in fear of being deported if they complain. They have very low wages and they are exposed to the pesticides that they do not know how to use. They can't read the labels. Nothing is translated where they know what it is. They're probably not mixing it correctly. We can only guess. That goes on our food. I've explained how this and why this must stop in this brochure. With more information and phone numbers to the Washington, D.C. Migrant Farm Workers Fairness Justice is very important. We need to pass legislation. We need to ask our local farmers where the produce comes from. We need to ask how they're treating their employees. We need to look. You pass fields every day. I've seen fields where planes fly right over farm workers, and it's just not acceptable. I'm hoping to show it must be everyone's problem and not just the migrant worker and his family, but to show it hurts the planet and all the populations. I understand it is very hard for a culture who is afraid of being deported. They have very little power. I have learned that the language barriers and fears of going back to a worse place can enable other people to take advantage of them. I do understand that a civilized country like the United States can make these changes, and they must. I hope by educating the U.S. population on the harms of this type of unsafe farming and how it affects all of us that we can make change. There are a lot of people working on this after doing this research, but it's taking too long. And there needs to be more done to prevent poisoning this population. Absolutely poison. Their families are becoming very, very ill. They themselves are having high cancer rates. The children are ill. And that goes to our food. We need to take care of this population who takes care of us. They bring food to our table. We hire them. We cannot be blind to the fact that this population exists. By being naive to the fact of how our food gets to the table is not acceptable. From the field to the table should be our responsibility. We understand, we're not ignorant. We do know how this works. We're taking advantage of a population that is working for slave labor wages and language barriers that are not acceptable. In the brochure, I've told them how to reach Head Starts. Every single county in the United States has a Head Start. They also have a migrant Head Start. Not every county has a migrant, but they have a Head Start. And I implore these people, any migrant farm worker, to call, get a translator, advocate, call Washington, D.C., and you putting the vegetables on your plate and the fruit, call and make sure that the food's getting to your plate safely. Thank you very much. Bye.